Big business is now running Parliament. They're not even pretending that it's about the people anymore. They're standing here making announcements of free money for mining companies with the very companies that they're meant to be regulating. This is exactly why we moved a motion yesterday in the Senate to restrict former ministers, like the former Resources Minister who went to work for the mining industry, restricting them from working in industries that they were meant to have regulated. Now, we want that cooling off period extended to 5 years, and we want those rules enforced. Now, of course, we didn't get support from either of the big parties on that because they want the cushy jobs when they leave Parliament, and they're happy to take the corporate donations while they're in Parliament. It's no wonder that people have lost confidence in our democracy. They want their democracy back, and they deserve it. We need to clean up this system. We need to get rid of those pernicious corporate donations from companies that want their own personal private profits put ahead of people. We need to fix up those lobbying rules so that it's not just a revolving door between industry and politicians like it is at the moment. And I'll be moving a motion today about that, and we'll see whether we get any support from the big parties on that one. And we need a federal anti-corruption commission. We really need to get our democracy back. It's why the vote for the big parties is so low at the moment. People are crying out for a system that represents them and that actually addresses their needs and their issues, real issues like the cost of living, protecting the environment for their kids, good hospitals and schools, and fixing climate change. These are the issues that matter, and instead we see this government bending over backwards for big business time and time again. Now, another example of that is, of course, Adani. We've seen the government do yet more special deals for Adani in not making them comply with water laws. Adani have just gotten out of having to comply with water laws for a pipeline that will suck 12.5 billion litres out of a river in a region that is crippled by drought. Now, that is outrageous that the company doesn't even have to think about the water impacts and doesn't have to do a full environmental impact statement because this government and this minister have waved it through. If you ever needed any more example that the government has sold out to big mining, this is it. What is this mob doing? They're not even pretending to have an agenda anymore. They've just cancelled an expensive meeting of all of the states and territories where they were meant to fix drought policy, they were meant to say something about schools funding, and they were meant to address Indigenous disadvantage. They've just cancelled the thing. They don't even know what they stand for. They're probably waiting for the memo from the big mining companies and their corporate donors. Oh, what are we meant to do now? What are you paying us to do? Well, I think the people won't be fooled. They're desperate for this government to go to the polls so they can boot this corrupted mob out.